SFJ 4x4 Studios presents
in my oversized four-wheel drive Jeep.
A Jeep podcast starring industry experts.
Pure monosity. What? Say that again.
With mad scientist Scott Brown.
Use my drill press as a sort of lathe.
Our host, Neil Simpson.
If one light goes out, they all go out.
Filled with shenanigans.
We are really professional with Jeeps.
This is I Speak Jeep. You're live.
There we go. Now we're alive as I yell into people's ears. Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever, however you are listening to us. We thank you for being here on the I Speak Jeep podcast. I am your host, Neil, with Simpson Family Jeeps, SFJ 4x4, and my esteemed colleague,
Mad scientist Scott Brown / wiring / frame repair this week.
/ janitor. I listen to that, and I think that our new listeners will never get the level of pleasure that I get out of that. The day that you dropped
Just
that
dropped
on me.
it on that.
Just, oh my gosh, without question. So, yes, esteemed colleague and best friend, we should always mention, if you have not gotten that vibe from our banter.
Did
and
we talk about that yet? We have talked about that.
We have
you
talked
should go
about
back
that.
and rewatch and see what the start of that was.
Yeah, how we became friends. It all started with
Jeeps.
With Jeeps and Scott crawling up under my undercarriage.
Oh boy.
Well, that's a good segue for Valentine's Day.
No.
This is episode 14, number 14, and for those of you who are joining us on any of your podcast listening programs, a big thank you to you all. So again, number 14.
And it's also the 14th, which is Valentine's Day, as
woo.
Scott's wife just mentioned. Happy Valentine's Day.
Woo. Episode 14. We planned it that way, folks.
Yeah,
Yes.
totally planned it.
Totally planned it.
On purpose.
We were just months ago. We had the forethought. We had the forethought to do.
Accidentally on purpose.
Clear. I'm such a bad liar. Obviously, completely clueless on that one. Oh my gosh! For those of you who are listening on those, the podcasts, Google, Facebook, iTunes, Spotify, Audible, those kinds of good things. Thank you so much for joining us. And the big news is we are actually in what appears to be the 7th position. So out of for Jeep and off-road conversation. So we're leaps and bounds having a good time here, and people seem to be enjoying it. So if you are enjoying this, make sure you head over, and leave a review and some stars. 10/10 you do recommend. And then obviously you can join us live. Those of you who are on Facebook, who are joining us live, and then that'll be up for 24 hours, and then you have to go to YouTube on Friday for the post-production version. So, anywho, it is
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about Valentines as far as our wives.
Mm-hmm.
Those of you who have been paying attention, all three of you, one of which is Scott's wife. We are, wonderfully and happily married, and our wives are an important part of who we are as individuals, as businessmen, and as Jeep owners.
Yep.
And so we're going to be talking about our wives. We also have a segment where we're going to be doing a blind react on something that is going to pop up on a screen here in front of us that we have not paid a lick of attention to. Not that we would anyways, but it's going to pop up on the screen here. We're going to talk about some of the goodies here on the table. We're going to talk about our hashtag not sponsored product review, where we will bring something unique to the table. Hopefully a cool Jeep product or off-road product that you haven't heard of, or if you have, you get our opinion on it. And then we have a special activity at the end. Those of you who are tuning in for the first time may have missed the Jeopardy previously in the last couple episodes, and that's pretty darn entertaining. I was very happy to see that we have combined all the Jeopardy into one segment. Is that live on the downloadable?
Yes, it's downloadable on all the podcast channels, and it is almost an hour long between those 3 episodes.
OMG.
So you see the wave of emotions.
Wave of emotions. Yeah, and we apologize for the second round because Jeffrey
Yeah.
just tried to hurt us.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It was evil.
He thought, how can I make the most boring content for our viewers and
Still,
listeners
no,
out
he
there?
got that.
The first episode, you guys did so well that
No,
it was
no,
embarrassing
no,
to me that I
no,
didn't challenge
no,
you enough.
Scott did so well in the first
That's
episode.
true. That is true. That Scott
Let's just call a spade a spade. Scott did so well in the first episode, the first round. The second round, nobody had fun.
No.
Maybe Jeffrey did.
I did.
And then the third round is a surprise. So you have to go on, listen, watch, and enjoy that segment. But as usual, you're working on kind of an interesting project.
Yep.
What did you do? It was Super Bowl weekend too.
It
Did
was-
you watch the Super Bowl?
No.
Oh, well, car guys.
Yeah. I think somebody was like playing with a ball and trying to put it through a basket or something. I don't know. But
Oh, he did that.
I went out to my garage
He
and
did it in real life.
and I worked on my car.
Brought the meme to life.
Yep. I've been flirting with this truth.
You better not be flirting. You better not be flirting on Valentine's Day.
Flirting with this frame hatch on my car, and it's one of those that
He's getting intimate with the car again.
Oh, remember that episode where he talked about licking a car?
Right?
You didn't lick the car this
no,
weekend,
I did not
you?
lick the car.
You were laying upside down underneath of it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Not on Valentine's Day though. But anyway, I had this patch. I knew I needed to do it and how to do it, but it's one of those that you don't really want to do, and you're like, I just not excited. So I put it off and went and worked on other parts of the build, and then I was finally like, okay, I just need to just finish this already. And like all good old 85, 86-year-old cars, it was like, but wait,
There's more.
there's more. So I cut.
Billy Mays was there with you in spirit.
Yeah, I fixed the one part. I'm very happy with how it came out. If you're on Facebook and on Instagram, you saw some updates of that. And then I realized that I had a 1/2 inch gap underneath the rear cross member from the rust doing this to the frame rails.
Delaminating or talking like a puppet? If you couldn't see online,
delaminating.
his hand was just moving like as if he was a puppeteer.
So the-
So I was confused myself.
So the ones that don't know, 30s Fords, it's a very thin wall frame, but how he made it strong is he put a C channel in a C channel, not like Jeeps where it's this. It's actually went inside the other, so it's still a C.
Oh, so it's not
And
boxed. It's
not
not a
boxed.
C channel that meets down the seam.
Correct.
But it's a C inside of a C.
It's C inside of a C, and
They're spooning.
They're spooning.
They're little frame and
and-
big frame.
And because of that,
That's the phrase I'm going to use on my wife next.
oh boy,
I'll be the big frame.
lots of rust and dirt and 85 years of grime got in there, and thankfully the outside frame I feel the most important part is not really hurt, but the inside is definitely worse for wear in a few spots. So I've been slowly chipping away at that without. It's funny that this summer somebody was like, you know what you have to do to fix that car? I was
What'd
like,
they do?
What's that? He's like, just take the frame completely apart, take those two C's apart, sandblast it, and fix it. I was like, no.
How do you take two of them? You take the
You
frames?
literally would take it completely apart, cross members all out. It's all completely assembled.
Is
Pretend
it modular? Is it
No,
modular
you'd
in
be
a sense?
lots of rivets going
Oh,
away.
it is. Okay.
It's all
you'd be-
riveted together.
It's all riveted.
And then you have to, at that point, you should have a frame table and jig it all back up. And I was like, no, who's not doing that?
No.
This guy.
No, that's
So
you actually want to drive this sometime in your lifetime.
someday in my lifetime, I would like
Yeah.
to drive this.
Yeah, we don't want that
preferably
one to die in the backyard.
this
somehow.
fall, possibly.
Ooh, you heard it, folks. You
Keep
heard
moving it back.
right here.
I was hoping for spring. I'm
This
moving it
fall.
back to fall.
This fall, he's going to drive it.
I'm hoping.
Didn't
You can
didn't
push
I
me
see
if
you were-
not.
You were. Didn't I see you were welding upside down?
I
Or-
was.
Okay.
And those that haven't done that, that's challenging.
Oh, it's exhausting in the sense
Yes.
that nothing is how it should be.
You know, it's really fun when you strike an arc in your frame and suddenly there's a hole there too. That's real fun.
Oh dear, burnt right through.
So I just start circling the problem and just work your way in.
Oh, did you? Did you? Oh, there was some
I'm sure
definitely.
that's not the correct way to do it, but that's how I just did it.
Our
so.
our performance mechanic Greg would be cringing
Cringing.
at that.
Yeah.
Don't worry, folks. If we work on your Jeep, we're not
We're
going
not
to do
doing that.
We're not
no.
doing that.
No, this is my own personal project. I'm like, yeah, I'm not cutting another patch. I'm
We're-
welding that up.
We're way more shady on our personal stuff than we are professionally.
Yeah, because mine didn't get sandblasted like we do. I'm refusing to take it completely apart.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, we could put it on the project floor, on the service floor, and manage it like a job. But
Yeah.
man, that would
Oh boy.
oh boy. Oh
Yeah.
boy, we do really good work for our customers. Speaking of, I saw our as you know, hashtag not a restoration.
Yes.
Trended substantially in the Jeep communities
Yes.
over the weekend.
And if you haven't seen that, you should go into the YouTube and definitely watch those videos. I do something very special and specific with the tailgate, and there's a lot more exciting things to come with that
there
build.
is, and it was gorgeous. Came out of paint over
Yes.
last week.
I love that his wife actually commented that, no, this is not a restoration.
She is just as
Yes.
cute as can be.
Yes,
Is she
she is.
not? She's a good sport.
Yes, she is.
She's a good sport. Though I have had the opportunity to talk to her personally, and I think they've invested heavily in their pets before.
Yes.
So I think, this
This
is
is
not
just
the
a
first time.
Wounded dog.
This is a wounded dog. Though she'll tell you, Ryan authorized all the repairs to their previous pets. So
Yeah, he's got a
he's a big softie.
big
in that.
puppy dog.
Yeah, for sure.
Which
for
I
sure.
heard he definitely got a little misty-eyed when he saw it come
Well,
out
it
of
is a
paint.
gorgeous job. So if you watched last week, or if you're listening to us, it's a color called Loden green, and it is as one of, I think, somebody who was heckling Ryan said, it's the color of money, both literally and figuratively, and it's just a beautiful. It pops.
Speaking of, so our friend Kevin goes, love the Not a Restoration project, and then Ryan immediately chimes in, I'm not crying, you're crying.
No doubt. So
Just wait till the stripes go on.
yes, it was such a cool,
Don't
such
need
a
a
cool
box of
project. So
Kleenex.
yeah, that trended well over the weekend. I saw it out on a number of different sites, and people just really enjoying it.
Yep.
And arguably, our side shot Saturday, if you're on our Facebook, our side shot Saturday with our own mad scientist sitting up in a Jeep. Now, people would look at that and be like, "What the heck is he doing up there?" So, can you tell us authoritatively, what were you doing in the Jeep, 6-7 feet in the air on the lift?
I'm trying to remember which Jeep this was.
It was the Mando.
The
So we did a
Mandalorian.
really cool
Oh.
job. Again, on our behind-the-scenes work, we did a Jeep. It's a two-door JK called the Mandalorian. It's this cool orange and green, kind of based on Star Wars
Yeah.
thematic.
I think we were trying to chase. Were we doing wiring at that point, or were we doing? I don't think we did brakes on that.
You don't think we were bleeding brakes?
I immediately when I first saw it on
I thought you
over
were
the
bleeding
weekend, I
brakes.
thought
I
we were
know-
bleeding brakes. But I don't think we
No,
actually
it wasn't bleeding brakes. You were working on setting up something inside, I think radio or something.
I think we were dividing and conquering.
because
it,
I was
we were-
underneath.
We were trying to do a lot on that build at once, and I think I was literally up in the air doing wiring while somebody else was underneath it working on it.
Okay.
So Ryan's trying to start a new segment for us. Hashtag still crying. And Taylor says showtime.
Absolutely. Hey, Taylor, I think your Jeep's done. Is word on the street is what I heard. So we're going to be driving that this afternoon as well.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. Those of you who are listening in right now, you hear this voice that's kind of popping in. That is our producer, the Italian stallion, Jeffrey Shiramonte. And a big thank you to the guy behind the camera, those of you who are watching, Davey the Savage Thompson. So a big shout out to our production team, as usual. So if you're chiming in and you're hearing voices, that's what you hear.
Yep.
I broke Carvana over the weekend.
Oh no, what'd you do?
So
Did you try to trade in Chuck Norris?
I tried to no. I tried trading in Jen's 2008 Impala.
Oh dear.
So I read a really good article, and again, just things that were trending online, and it was
So how's that work? Do you just drive up to the machine and like it goes away and
No,
you hear
so-
crash, and they say
Just
smash
crushing
it,
it,
and then a
just
new car
crushing
comes
it.
out.
as they crush the car immediately. No, I read this article on a guy that traded in his 2014 Honda Fit. I think is what he said.
Nowhere near the same car.
Listen,
Not even close.
Listen, it wasn't. But he wrote this really good article on the fact that, again, if you've tuned on to any of the marketplace reviews that I'm doing, I suggest that you do. They're on YouTube. They're pretty funny, reviewing just kind of how crazy the Jeep marketplace is right now. So we know that the vehicles are actually appreciating for the first time pretty much ever.
Oh.
The average, I know that hurt you.
Yeah.
That touched your heart.
Yeah.
Ken Kushner says as long as it wasn't Vroom.
Oh, no. Oh, poor Ken. Ken didn't have a title for like 4 months. Shame on you, Vroom. No. So I read this article about Carvana and the fact that there's an algorithm. That's actually their Vroom, Carvana, somebody else. They're actually
probably
using...
Impalas are probably not in the algorithm. They're
No.
like bail. bail.
It's just as fast as they could. That actually, basically, they jokingly call it a robot, but that you're getting a quote based on an algorithm that meets the needs of the company, and that need might actually just be sending it to auction. So that
Rust is mentioned, auction.
yes. So one of the things that this guy said, and so they're trying to hit categories, and so you never know exactly what the algorithm is looking for. But it was talking about kind of the tips and tricks of trading your vehicle in and getting max dollar. You can actually make them compete from each other, and they call it like a second roll, which is actually you can resubmit the exact same information you submitted within a 24-hour period with a different email address, and it may or may not give you more money on the offer.
If you trade in your Jeep, that probably happens. If you trading in a Chevy Impala, it's definitely not happening.
So the number one thing they said you have to do is leave an accurate description of the condition of the vehicle.
Broken.
2008 Impala.
Rusty.
My wife has crashed it into more things than she's driven straight on.
Misshapen panels. But it has heated seats.
But it has heated seats and a moonroof.
Yeah.
And leather.
Yep.
It doesn't currently run because it shuts off randomly.
Well, it does run, but it doesn't run well.
It doesn't
or
run
long.
well. It's a beautiful car. Well, it's not physically beautiful. It was a decade ago.
Yeah. He had a man crush on Chevy Impalas.
I
You heard it
did.
here
I
first,
still
guys.
do. Well, that's a cool car.
He just called a 2008 Chevy Impala cool. That happened.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So, but it has a spoiler. I think I got a couple of extra bucks. All right.
No.
Long story
that
short,
makes it worse.
Carvana
Yes.
came back and was like,
We don't want your car.
We don't want your car." I thought they'd at least give me like, "Oh, we'll take it for $500." You never know, like that person's desperate. You know what I mean? No, they were like, "Yeah, you just keep
Hard
it.
pass.
That's your problem."
Yeah.
That's bad because they're desperate for cars.
That's what I'm talking about.
Not 2008 Chevy Impalas.
I broke Carvana. They didn't even want to send it to the crusher.
So now you got to do the Nissan.
So, and just a complete side note, and it would not be family appropriate, but there is a great trending little video about guys and their security. This is kind of Valentine appropriate when they drive crappy cars. So, and again, if you've listened to the program, you follow me on social media, you know that I've got some pretty cool vehicles, but my dailies are absolutely trash.
Beat.
Just keep them just absolutely shoved into the form of a vehicle. And
Yeah, at this point, we just embrace it.
Scott did the best. He did a wiring job. He put a trailer, like a trailer light, a 12-volt trailer light.
After he smashed the original one out of the car.
Yeah, so right now, my daily driver has a trailer light as one of the tail lights.
So they got to keep them legal.
Reasonably
Don't care what
speaking.
it looks like. Got to
Nope,
keep them legal.
Nope. So good.
But the wiring's appropriate. That's important.
Yes, it's fantastic. It works. I've had police
doesn't
pull
look
up
good.
behind me, and they're thinking, "Oh, I'm going to get this one. He's clearly, going to generate some revenue for us."
And then
And
the
I
light
hit-
works.
And then the light works.
And
And
they're
they're
like,
like, "Oh, that's a questionable one. That's
Nope.
questionable."
as long as it's red and works.
It read and it works, and there's actually says little DOT on there.
Yep.
I don't think it's DOT
Not my
for
first
the vehicle.
rodeo.
No, not your no. I'm truly proud to call you friend.
Yeah.
So, all right. So yeah, I broke Carvana. That's the short and long of that. We should try to trade the Nissan in.
That would be hysterical.
My
Yeah, if they
gosh.
thought the Impala was bad.
Yeah. See what they think about a 2001 Nissan. I like to call
Make
him
sure
my
you-
trusty steed,
Make sure
Nissan.
you list the trailer light as an option.
Oh yes, yes. The fact that the bumper has broken away at the front, and I've kind of cobbed in 2 fog lights where the bumper used to be.
Yeah,
Perfect.
perfect.
Speaking of perfect, how about we talk about our wives?
Yep.
Would you like to start on one? Do you? So the idea right here. Again, happy Valentine's Day to all of our listeners, whether that's you and a significant other, or you and your vehicle, whether it be a Jeep or a hot rod or something else that's a cool thing. Hopefully, you're not spending the time right now licking your vehicle, as Scott has suggested in the past. But we thought it would be a fun opportunity, because our wives are an important part of who we are as individuals, to talk, because I think we both have some pretty good stories involving our spouses.
The hardest part for me is just trying to pick one story, because she is the reason I'm into Jeeps. She literally
She is.
she got
You were
the
not into Jeeps.
I
Your
was
dad
not
hated
into
them.
Jeeps.
Your dad hated them, and you were building oddball Chryslers.
And when
or
I was
something.
awkwardly in high school trying to flirt with her in health class, and she told me
Sorry, Amy.
she was getting a Jeep Cherokee, I was definitely concerned for her welfare because
You were intimidated by her.
at that point I did not know there was a difference between like Renix era and V6 era XJs and the 4-liter ones, and thankfully her dad was getting her a 91, which we all know is HO.
Absolutely.
And
Great
had the
vehicle.
power and comfort transmission shifter button on it.
I love
So
that.
I desperately was like, you don't want that. It's going to burn down. I was actually genuinely concerned for her safety.
You would be. Such an odd flirting. I'm so concerned for you with
Yes.
this vehicle.
Yeah, thankfully she overlooked my
I
shortcomings.
got to tell you, when I was 16, that was not what I was concerned about for a female. All right. So, anyways.
The biggest thing with us is everything we do it together. So there's not necessarily us specific, like we went on a date this time. We just really enjoy being together and doing stuff together. But one of the first, does it need to be Jeep related? I need a qualifier.
mine's going to be Jeep related, but hear me out. So wait a second. Let's set the stage. How old are you when you meet your wife? We don't have to talk significant other because we're talking about our own wives. We know them. All right, but you were in high school.
17, 18.
So you're 17, 18 in that era,
Yep.
right? Age-wise.
Yep.
So we're talking the early 2000s, mid-2000 area.
Yep. 03 for us.
Okay. And you're this is somebody you're going to high school with.
Yep.
Okay.
And I had a crush on her for
What
quite
were
a
you
set
driving?
time
I know what
before
you were
that.
driving, but Amy says she loves them.
And love you too,
Aw.
but
All right.
So
You were driving what?
well, I had a 92 Chevy S10.
I was going to say,
extended
don't
cab.
dance around this. We know exactly what piece
And,
of junk you were driving.
I loved it.
Four-cylinder S10, folks.
5-speed.
Cool.
And it was black, and they had a red interior like all 90s cars should.
90s cars should have.
And it had a leaky sunroof that I loved.
Uh-huh.
And, of course, little tiny jump seats in the back with, of course, you had to put an amp and speakers, 210s
You
in
couldn't
there.
use those seats for anything. They had to
No.
be a sub had to
Though I
occupy
did
that
charge
space.
people to take them to school, though. In
You
those tiny seats.
charged people.
Well, when the bus leaves them there, they get really upset and they're willing to throw cash at the problem.
Wow. Okay. I appreciate your entrepreneurial spirit.
Because
It was Uber before Uber was a
Uber
thing.
before Uber was a thing.
Okay.
I was.
You heard it here, folks. Scott invented Uber.
I went to the Voed, which was off-site, but we would, of course, me and my buddy would go and visit our then girlfriend's, my now wife, at high school, and that was my little bit of being a bad. But
You were rebellious.
being rebellious because you weren't allowed to wear a hat in the school or other things, and we just walked in like we owned the place.
I like to picture you a lot like Grease Lightning type character
Oh,
in
boy.
high school, but less cool.
Yeah, definitely less cool. But the other vehicle I had as part of that was a family heirloom 68 Chevy C10 pickup.
Oh, right.
Which is also actually a big part of the business and everything. It was one of the first vehicles we had here. And since I wanted it to be an actual date, I think I'll tell our first date.
Okay.
It was a whole long story, but we started dating right before my wife went to try to go to Maine. And we talked for those hour-long conversations on the phone. So when she finally came back home after a much fun trip of radiators exploding on her dad and all kinds of bad stuff in rental vehicles, it did not go as planned. They did not make it to Maine.
What were they driving to Maine and the radiator exploded?
I think it was like a 91 or 92 full-size conversion van Ford.
So many good things happened in conversion vans in the 90s and early 2000s,
And
folks.
of course, it had the bed in the back
Oh, my God, I loved mine.
with captain chairs.
It wasn't a good conversion van without the bed in the back.
Oh, no,
No.
no, yeah.
And my wife did drive that through her getting her license.
Yeah, Amy, good
And
job.
parallel parked that sucker.
Did she? Good
Yep,
for her.
Did
Good
the
for her.
maneuverability test with that. But anyway, I'm like really wanting to impress. I knew her dad was in the vehicles and stuff, so I really wanted to impress him, and I wanted it to be special. So And these days, the
Him
60
being into a conversion van was into vehicles.
We led different lives because as a kid, I didn't care about impressing the parents with vehicles. I was impressing the girl. I didn't care about the parents.
Okay.
So
Scott was
anyway.
impressing her parents.
So I got to set the stage. At this point, the 68 was not very reliable.
Uh-huh.
You had to put it in neutral and keep it running at traffic lights and then drop it in gear. And,
I've had plenty of those vehicles.
and
Yes.
if it started in the morning and you let it run long enough, maybe you might make it to your destination.
What's not reliable about that? You kept it running, and it kind of made it to the destination. This sounds perfectly
And it
fine
had-
to me.
And of course, I couldn't have it. The S10 be the only one with a sound system, so I had these little tiny 8-inch MTX speakers behind the seat, and I custom put the amp in there, and I had this really bright, god awful carpet that's still in the truck. I need to get rid of that.
Oh, yeah.
at this
Clifford?
point.
Yes. Yes.
Amy is saying Clifford.
Clifford.
Yes.
That is
Yep.
what we call the truck, and my kids now love Clifford.
Absolutely.
Any which way, I drive into her driveway, and I'm going in to pick her up for our first date, and realize in a panic all of a sudden that every vehicle but me in the driveway is Ford,
Oh, boy.
and I'm in a Chevy,
Oh, boy.
and I had a panic attack for a minute. I was
Of
like,
course you did.
I was like, oh God,
You didn't
what did I-
overthink that at all.
What did I do? and ironically, most of them were blue, and my truck's red, so it's like this is really clashy.
Really stands out. Really stands out.
So I go in and meet her parents, and her dad shows me his gun collection, and I about crap my pants.
Classic.
And Mom wants to feed me and all the
Aw.
good things. And then we get in the truck, and I get it started, and we're going to the car show, which we still attend on Sundays down at Lakeshore Park. And funny, not funny, just me being awkward. My wife knew about a previous try of a relationship before that, and I got dumped when I asked the girl if I could hold her hand.
Oh, that's so kind
And
of you.
she
Aw.
promptly told me, if you ask questions, you're gonna get decked. Just do it. If you're gonna do it, do it.
just jump 2 feet first.
Yeah. So that's where we went on our first date, had our first kiss
Okay. At the car show.
at the car show,
Aw.
which is ironically just sets the tone for our relationship.
It does. It does.
On our honeymoon, we went to car show museums in Michigan.
Yep.
She's been.
But you went to the Ford Village on your honeymoon, didn't you, or no?
We didn't actually get to go to the village, but we did the museum. We did the Chrysler Museum.
So you did the Ford Museum.
Yeah.
See, so he did kind of convert to her family's.
Well,
her
and now I
family's
own
ways.
a Ford.
And now you own a couple
I-
Fords. You own more Fords than you have in your entire life.
Yes.
In your on the Brown property at this point.
Yep. And it's all her fault.
Yes. So then that's I always tell people, they're a keeper when, right?
I knew she was a keeper when we went to the junkyard. She fell butt first into the mud and was worried about the S10 seats going home.
Oh, perfect.
So
Perfect. All right, so here's my big story. I always tell people about my wife. If you if you're close enough to us, you'll know my wife is she is a vivacious city slicker, who is just a ball of energy.
Yes.
And
goes head first in
head
everything.
first and everything. She actually, you would never know because she has it done in like a nondescript ink, but on her forearm it literally says "crash." It has so much. There's so many things. It's like supposed to be waves, like ocean waves. That it says, it crashes like ocean waves. But yeah, so that's her in a nutshell. But just this again a fantastic ball of energy. And so we meet at 17, 18 as well. Start dating, and I am a college football player at the time, and I'm attending a school in Western Pennsylvania, and there's a handful of us who have Jeeps specifically, and I have an 87.
I was say which Jeep specifically?
Yep, specifically I have an 87 YJ, and at that point in time, it's running a 258, 5-speed. I think I may or may not have the AX15 in. I did a big AX15 conversion.
Got rid of the Peugeot
Got rid of the
train.
Peugeot BA10. Yeah, actually, so while most other freshmen were either
Putting
actually doing
speakers and stereos.
well, doing speakers and stereos, but actually, I don't know, studying, using their degree work for
Who does that?
like productive things, or on the flip side, failing out because they're playing video games. I
Was laying under a Jeep.
Not only was I laying under a Jeep, but I was actually negotiating transmission builds in Florida.
Yes.
To then do the conversion here in Ohio, Pennsylvania. And so I was actually shipping transmissions up and down the country and like figuring out what parts and pieces and the builders that I wanted to use.
To clarify, though, Ohio, Pennsylvania is a real location.
Wow. Well, thank you, Jeffrey, for that. I didn't realize Ohio, Pennsylvania was a thing. I'm talking about we're on a border town, folks. We're on a border town, and I was trying to figure out my builder that I was going to have do the conversion.
Neil didn't have internal restriction. He didn't have this internal saying, you shouldn't ship a transmission to Florida. He was like, why not ship a transmission to Florida?
Why not have it
I'll
built
just carry
with these
this
parts?
into the local post office. I need to ship this, please.
That's right. That's right.
I have stamps.
I have stamps. All right. So anyway, I think I'm in the AX15 at that point in time because my freshman year, because this would have been my sophomore year because my wife was a year
because you were missing a very important part.
Of the transmission?
Yeah.
Yeah, reverse.
And?
What do you mean, and?
Front drive shaft?
No. I always had a front drive shaft.
Just not in the Jeep?
No, it was in the Jeep. It was a vacuum disconnect. It just doesn't work. It's spotty at best. If you're a YJ owner, if you know anything about YJs, and I'm sorry, JL owners, if you're a JL owner now, you have a center axle disconnect. At the time, we called it a CAD. Now we call it FAD. Same same technology. Not any better now, 30 years later, than it was.
Well, slightly better.
The
vacuum diaphragm won't rust away on a JL now and not have four-wheel drive.
But here's the thing. We're going to talk about that 10 years from now and see if the FAD is actually any better than it was when it was in the 80s and 90s. But no, it was a vacuum disconnect. So you had four-wheel drive pretty much never. But this didn't matter because I was on 35s and nobody else was on 35s at the time.
There was reasons for that.
I was on too much lift for an appropriate center of gravity.
Again.
And
carbureted.
Right? And this is, don't forget, folks, this is a 17, 18-year-old vehicle, and I'm in college, with a built vehicle as best as I can at the time.
Bubble gum and shoelaces.
Yeah, absolutely, right? So here we are, this wonderful girl that I've been dating for about 6 months. And she makes friends with someone on her haul, and this other girl, her boyfriend was coming into town from New York City. Ooh. No joke, Juilliard. He was in the performing arts program at Juilliard. He was coming to visit her for the weekend.
Remember that part for the furthest part of the story here.
He was coming in to visit her for the weekend, and so we are like trying to figure out something to do as two young couples double dating, and Jennifer had an Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme 2-door. And
the Supreme.
Oh, such a cool car. Such a cool car. Like
not
my
a cool
Impala
car.
08. Oh,
definitely not a cool car.
Okay. So we decide we're going to get all fancied up, right? So no joke, the guys are in khakis and dress shoes. The girls are in heels and skirts.
And did you have a top on the Jeep?
I did, but of course it was an 87 Wrangler.
So it was spotty at best.
Spotty at best. I mean, just, it was a good tarp will cover up about as much as that top did.
Yes. Definitely no leaks.
So what do we do? So again, I mean, just too much lift, big tires, and we were early for our movie.
There's a problem.
So in Simpson time,
we have to fix that.
We have to fix that.
Definitely got to be late.
We can jam something else in before we get to the movie, right? Let's do 16 more things.
Yep.
So here we are. So guys are in dress clothes. Girls are, just looking fine as can be. Heels and the whole 9 yards. And we're headed out on a date. And as we head out there, I think Jen and I had already been off-roading a little bit, Yeah. And I think we're going to show these folks a good time.
Yeah.
And we're going to go off-roading before this movie.
Uh-oh.
And so here we go into this.
Do you guys know where this is going yet?
We go into this local hole that's kind of on this, the college town I go to. It was kind of mountainous. And I head up. And so on our way to the movie theater, we decide we're going to veer off onto this unbeaten path. And I had played back in there before once or twice. And I thought, I got this. We're going to show these folks a good time, and this is going to be great. And
Give him a story to tell.
Give him a
boy,
story.
Did he.
Ooh, did he? Ooh, buddy. So we crawl back in here, and at that time I played in mud more than I do now. Knowing less. And at that point in time, I'm ripping through. We're doing rooster tails all over the place, and we're reasonably having a good time. I have no idea what the Juilliard guy was doing or not, whether he was having a good time.
I doubt it.
The girls are shoved in the back seat together because, of course, it's the back seat of a YJ Wrangler, and we're both up front, and I'm grabbing gears and rooster tailing through the mud, and things are going really well.
For a moment.
So what, of course, do I need to do? I need to push it, right? Because, I don't know, we just can't pleasantly be done, fooling around off-road and then go on to our movie. No, I decide to take the path less traveled.
Mm-hmm. Makes perfect sense.
And I do a little hill climb. And so I come through this area, you can see 2-track coming through, and it goes up into a big hill climb. And I'm like, oh, I've never been here before. So I
First
really...
mistake.
Yeah, in the dark. It's important to note we were going to the movies at night. And so I've got, of course, like 8 KC lights on this Jeep. Right? So I've got this, this is, again,
how many of them worked?
2000s. All of them.
Oh, of course.
All of them. I had 4 across the windshield and 4 on the bumper.
Did you have lockers?
You notice where my infatuation with axle builds and functionality come from.
There's something coming.
So I'm come flying up this this hill climb, and I mean I remember we're lighting up like we're the moon, shining up into the sky, and I just remember looking at the stars, and thinking, I wonder what's on the other side of this hill.
A big hole.
A real big hole. It was like a drainage pond for a logging or mining operation.
And that's when you realized that something didn't work.
4-wheel drive, no worky.
No worky.
And so I come up and I plop right down into this. And again, 35, 7 inches of lift. The thing's a monster. And I am just buried up to the door sills.
So you get out and winch it out, right?
Wow. No, because of course
he didn't have your little tree saver.
I didn't have
Ouch. Hater.
Those of you who are unaware, Scott's tree saver is impressive to, or maybe it's not.
Hey.
It's a grower.
It's
functional. It's how you use it.
As long as you don't pull a house, it's fine.
We tried doing that too.
Yeah, we did try to move a
episode 1 or
house.
2.
Other than that, it's perfectly fine.
Buried in the mud, can't get out, middle of the dark, and we end up at that point in time, not moving, stuck as can be. We end up hiking out of the woods, girls in heels, guys in slacks, down into the mud, carried out of it, hiked down out of the mountains, down to the road where we hitchhiked back to college. Needless to say, the night was pretty much ruined as far as that other couple. In fact, I honestly don't think they ever spoke to us again.
I can't imagine why.
The cool.
You know who's not four-wheeling?
Oh, them. No, they're not.
They have stories.
They have stories. Needless to say, that woman who I took on a date that night married me still.
Yep.
And has been equal partner in crime ever since.
Yep.
Throughout all the shenanigans.
And she really enjoys those, I know, secretly.
She really does. She really does. And we can go on because I've lit vehicles on fire with her in the vehicle.
Oh,
and,
of course.
She's a darn good trooper with my shenanigans. So that's when we knew that she was the one. 17, 18 years old, buried in the backwoods, in her heels, and just a good sport.
The first nor last time they went wheeling and pretty close.
Oh my God, no. But that's a story for another time.
Yep.
That's another story. Folks, at this point in time, we are going to take a quick moment for a little commercial break, talk about our gear. And here in front of us, if you can't see, are our newest hats. So when you think about going over to sfj4x4.com,
I'm partial to this one.
We have some new hats for the market as well.
Hey, Jeep family, we hope that you're enjoying this content, and we want to make sure that you head over to sfj4x4.com, find some of this cool merchandise, give us a call at our facility, 440-813-3663. Option 1. And make sure that you tune in to our live podcast every Monday at 10:19 a.m. and check out our updates on YouTube on Tuesdays and Fridays. Until then, Jeep on.
I just got What? Whoa, easy, producer.
You're good.
I just got corrected on. I got schooled on how my mic cable should be going.
I think it's a good
I've
segue
been-
into our not sponsored.
Not sponsored. Oh, it is an excellent segue into our not sponsored. We have the best intros.
We do.
Do you know that? These are great. These are great. Wait till we have the stiff door ad come out.
I hope you like the blind reaction one today.
Oh well, we're gonna talk about product, but
Yeah.
we're gonna.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Are you gonna talk about it? You want me? We're segueing because I'm
can see
rerouting
it
wire. Did you
behind
see what
us.
I did? I made it so it mirrored yours
Ah.
because I thought that would be more aesthetically pleasing to our viewers.
So our product we're going to talk today is painless wiring harnesses. And this is always comes up on all the classic car groups, Jeeps, not Jeeps, all of those. And everybody's always saying, do I have to spend the money for painless or can I get something cheaper? And the people that know, and they say, spend the money. And you can see how thick this book is.
It's a thick book.
Thick book.
She's a thick book.
It goes
Happy
in here and it
Valentine's
tells
Day.
you how to wire things, electrical
Very white
theory,
right now.
how to crimp things. They give you connections. They give you bulbs. They give you fuses. They give you screws. What? Anywho, they give you everything.
My mind's on Valentine's Day.
you're
and
in
I just-
trouble.
I'm
You're a
having
mess.
hard time.
What's even better is that Scott's just going on like nothing. He's not catching
That's
any
what
of
I
your
do.
little jokes.
That's what I do. Anywho, the quality makes up for it. And if you don't want your Jeep to look like this,
Oh, the beaver, the angry beaver. Oh no, rainbow spaghetti.
this is rainbow spaghetti. For those that don't
Rainbow
know, we have some
spaghetti.
house wiring in here.
Oh,
House nut right there.
house nut. I like when we do the tape. Oh, I pulled that tape off. Oh,
Yeah, that was a good
What tape?
connection.
my bad. That was a good connection.
Black wire.
That wire's black and burnt and
Yeah.
broken there.
I mean,
What
and
did
what's
this
sad?
used to be? That's
it-
the horn button.
They
Or is
really
that the starter?
I have no
I
idea.
bet that started.
They
the whole
really
vehicle.
tried hard. They have a fuse box here, which rivals most
Attempts.
spaghetti.
Yes, most spaghetti attempts. Oh, they
But-
got a little bus bar down here. to
Bus
ground.
bar because it was in a fiberglass Jeep.
Oh, sure.
Good times. Obviously, this was extra, no longer needed. Who
Yes.
needs to cover those connections, though?
No.
Anywho,
no. Let it be
anyway.
live and arky sparky on something.
That goes over there. That is not what's in that box, guys. Way better. And if you know, lots of people say, "Oh, wiring's intimidating. Wiring's scary." That's what this book's for. Even if you don't install it, this will give you a much better broad idea. And that's why when we install one of these, this goes with the Jeep. This is not something I keep. And owners should go through this and look through it so they can understand what they have and that they had done. And
So I'm going to dispel a quick little myth. Just like any business company starting out, Painless has gone through its growing pains.
Yep.
And at one point in time, in my experience, I did actually reference them as painful wiring harnesses. Now, that is to be said that there were harnesses that were not the best. At this point in time, it's 20, 30 years later. They've refined their product line.
And I would go out on a limb and say the other harnesses were not very good either.
There were no good harnesses on
Yeah.
the market. There weren't. Jeffrey, are you okay? Jeffrey, are you our producer? I don't know what's happening over there. He's banging on things. He's falling. Where
He
are you
he really wants us to be part of it.
he's
so.
getting geared up for Valentine's Day. He's falling over there. What am I
Our
doing?
wiring
with
of
this? Why-
shame.
Our-
You see this missing right here? That's
Top-
supposed to have a web.
Yes,
That's important.
it was, and
I think that might have voided the warranty.
mine avoided the warranty. And this was a sub that was installed in a TJ.
Yeah.
They did some painful things.
Yes.
A angry beaver had actually installed this sub, as far as we're concerned.
Yeah.
Um,
And they didn't. You notice how big the speaker is compared to how the stock speaker
oh,
is.
here we go. I'm just gonna. Oh boy, there we go. Throw that on the ground back
So
there.
this is what you got to do to make a 10-inch sub fit
fit in.
where a 6-inch sub once was.
Yes.
But you don't
yes.
need a bigger amp though.
No.
Just a stock amp
I'm
will
just
be
gonna talk
plenty.
through this into my microphone.
Which is really sad because those TJ owners that knows what this is not an easy part to find, guys.
No. You want to buy that on eBay right now? You're spending $250
Yeah,
on that one.
not that one.
No.
No, that one goes down there with the other things.
On the into the trash pile.
Yes.
So with that, the
I don't know what Davey's referencing, but he says RIP headphone users.
P headphone users.
RIP. I think that you made some loud noises.
Oh, really loud. Loud noises.
Sorry, Davey.
Sorry, Davey.
We got excited.
We were talking
passionate about stuff.
We're passionate about quality modifications to your vehicle, right? And that's bring it back to the painless kit. That is what they are offering at this point. So our vintage restorations, they're getting a painless because, again, through my own process of self-discovery and product awareness, they have refined and created products specific to vehicle applications. So no longer is it a general or generic product.
Yep.
We're not,
It's
again, like
very
those
specific.
that speaker or that speaker box. We're not trying to shove a square peg into a round hole. The painless kits are actually very specific and very well refined for their application at this point.
Yep. Someone in painless must have had a Jeep and was like, I can fix this. And
Yes.
they did. They really did. There's ground wires through the whole harness, which makes fiberglass Jeeps like next level.
Yes, because of course, if you own a fiberglass Jeep, that's one of our biggest challenges over and over and over again is
It's grounds.
grounds, access to grounds, lack of grounds, products that need grounds, gauges and lights and so on and so forth. So, good quality componentry there. Again, the right product for the right application.
And that's why we use them, because we personally want best success. We want to have good products, good longevity. So if we're using it, there's a reason.
Painless, if you're listening, JK Wrangler next, 07 to 11.
First, you need to do a YJ, but yes, and then TJ, and then JK Wrangler. Please make some harnesses.
Some harnesses in due time.
Yes.
Due time. So, anything else you want to say about painless?
I think that generally covers it.
One of the fun things early on is that one of the first things that we had asked Scott to do was rewire our Willys, the 48 Willys, with a painless kit. And that's how we learned the hard way about the general or generic harnesses versus the specific application harnesses.
Yep.
So again, really important. It's a couple $100 more. So if you're looking at a $400 or $500 wiring kit versus an $800 one, there is a difference.
Yeah, and if you're looking at $200 ones on Amazon, stop what you're doing.
Stop it now.
Yes.
Stop it now.
Yeah.
All right, sir. So we've had some viewers, listeners, people who enjoy the venue here submit some stuff to us recently, and so
as part of
what
that
do you say?
transition, I believe Scott has something he wants to give you that So this next segment is going to be called Blind Reaction, but Scott has a gift for you first. This is our new
Definitely
BestTop.
going to need one of these.
New BestTop banner that we're going to be hanging in the shop here.
What the heck? Get the heck out of here.
Maybe you can trade the Impala in on one.
Get the heck out of here. Y'all got jokes. Y'all got jokes. Folks, if you don't know, they just handed me a BestTop banner for the new Bronco. I had a guy message me on one of my socials, and he goes, "So can we still be friends if I buy a Bronco?" And I was like, "No, no, I'll be friends."
I secretly want to get my wife one, but I don't think I'm getting her out of a Subaru anytime soon.
See, okay, I'll approve of the Bronco if you trade in the Subi.
Yeah, my JK is not going anywhere.
I think I told the story, but I'll just mention it, that I had a guy, I was sitting in Chuck at a store, and I had the 40s. He was like, "I don't think I could fit those on my ride." And I was like, "Oh, that's okay, dude. Like, it's not for everybody." And I was like, trying to chat him up, trying to be positive about it. I'm like, "What do you got?" And he was like, "Oh, I've got a Subaru."
Yeah, don't do that.
They're 40s. They're going to be over the hood, over the I don't know what the window.
Yeah.
That's what that's called. It's called a window frame.
Taylor says get the Raptor.
Oh, that's cool.
And
that's
then
cool.
Amy says I'll keep my Subaru.
I do it.
Yeah. Yeah, the Raptor's pretty cool. At SEMA, they jump the Raptors. You can get in into an experience, the Ford experience. Very cool opportunity.
I think you should get the new HighTide.
Have you seen the HighTide? Have you seen the HighTide?
I have not.
Let me tell you about the HighTide. It is just wicked awesome, and a Jeep Corporation doing some big things over the weekend. So I think the HighTide was actually a launch, a sneak peek last week, and then obviously they really got us excited about what we thought was going to be Super Bowl Sunday.
Yep. They were
a
pretty-
Jeep commercial.
Pretty crafty about that.
They were very crafty. But here, let me tell you about the HighTide first. The HighTide is a special package that's going to be released specifically for Jeep Beach. And again, if you can go back to that Jeeperty, brilliant, right? So if you go back to Jeeperty last week, Jeep Beach is arguably one of the biggest Jeep venues, certainly on the East Coast, maybe in the continental 48 at the moment. And so Jeep is recognizing that, and they are launching a package geared specifically that will debut at Jeep Beach called the HighTide. And it comes in a couple funky colors. I think it's going to be like a neat yellow, like a sunshine yellow. And there might be like a blue or a teal as well.
Kind of harkening back to the Islander.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It looks very similar. Harkens back to the Islander. Speaking of, we have a couple customers with actual Islander. We have a specific blue one. I saw a JK Islander come up for sale, and I was like, same blue. And I was like, ooh, they should buy that,
Yes.
Super cool to have one of each, But anyways, the HighTide will have that kind of cool, fun color palette. It's a Sport S, but here's my favorite part. They're doing the Extreme Recon package on it. So it's coming with beadlock ready wheels, 35s, 456 gears. I believe a traction device. It gives you a posi in the back, I think, is the Extreme Recon. And just a wicked cool package.
It's a really good time to be in the Jeeps. Really is.
It is. And we'll add a little video or a article on that in our post-production version of this on YouTube. But speaking of good time to be in Jeeps, Jeep threw us a curveball. They said the Earth is going to change. World is going to change on February 13th, 2022, and they promoed this, and it looks like a bird, blue screechy bird.
Ostrich.
It was an ostrich or a peacock.
Take your word for it, Jeff.
We're gonna fact check Jeffrey.
Yeah, totally.
Some birder out there is like,
Losing his stuff right now.
that's a Great Western
Yes.
blue gilded something or
stop
other.
while
All
you're
right,
ahead,
I'm
man.
gonna stop now. So anyway, so we all Jeep people who saw that were inclined, watched through the entire Super Bowl game, and I enjoyed the game. But I actually left during play, so I wouldn't miss the commercials.
Same here.
I was folding laundry, and I needed to run down, switch laundry over, and all that kind of stuff. And you know what they didn't do?
Play that commercial.
They didn't play that
Didn't
commercial.
play the commercial.
So what'd you have to do?
I went to Jeep's website.
And I
It worked because I did the same.
On the front page is watch commercial, which they did.
So well done, Jeep. Well done indeed. Because
how do you
drove
get advertisement without paying for advertisement?
Yeah, they didn't pay for Super Bowl, ad time, but they got me. They hook, line, and sinker, and it sounds like they got Jeffrey as well.
Yes.
Even the guy that was working on his car that had no idea about Super Bowl had to watch that this morning after his friends told him about it.
Yeah, so it was a great video. So if you haven't seen it yet, we're going to push you over there right now as well, and they unveil a platform, or they kind of say, hey, this is new, and you're going to have to come back and tell us what
and
it
if
is.
you're watching
in the
it at
comments.
work, make sure your volume is low, so you're
No, crank it. Crank it.
because
Volume up.
Definitely a lot of noise. They'll think there's a zoo coming
Happy
from your
Valentine's
cubicle.
Day. There's
Oh.
a lot of noise.
Oh, boy.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry,
family friendly.
Jennifer.
Family
so
friendly.
sorry.
So I'm not the one. I'm just making observations. There's a
Moving
lot of
on.
noise in the
Yeah,
video.
okay.
Not suitable for work. It is suitable for work. It's just kind of screechy. And anyways, so we were going to react to something. You're going to show us something
let's
other
go to
than
the-
this BestTop banner with a Bronco on
Let's
it.
go to the blind reaction segment.
Blind reaction.
Don't wanna think about it.
What is that? What is that? Folks, if you read blind reaction, then
I feel like I need to apologize to Kristen now.
yeah, right.
How many hours did you work on that?
Right.
It was a little bit.
It was a little bit.
I'm sorry, Kristen. So
But the
sorry.
transitions, I love them. I love them. What do you got for us?
So you're going to watch this video, and I just want you guys to react. This was submitted by one of our viewers, and they asked me to surprise you with it. So
Okay.
here we
Okay.
go.
I'm loving what I see. Oh, it's so loud.
Neil would totally do this.
Why is his hand in there still? Oh, that's.
You're running right out and getting some M80s, aren't you?
Oh my gosh. I am not sure.
Of course, they don't show how long it stayed on the bead, but I've never
What do you
seen
mean?
that before.
It stayed on the bead the whole time. That was
Yeah,
perfect.
totally.
It was a perfect repair. All
And
right.
totally
so those of
went
you
out.
who didn't
It's
just
not on fire in the wheel. Because anybody that's done this, which I definitely don't recommend it, if has seeded a bead with fire, you have to put air in it immediately. Otherwise, it condenses like right now.
and it creates a vacuum, so it
Creates a
sucks
vacuum.
in, and,
Sucks the
and-
tire right back
and it
off.
pulls the bead back off. Typically speaking, you gotta
Yeah.
put air on it right away.
Yeah.
All right, those of you who are not still, your eardrums are blown out from that transition into that.
And we're sorry.
Sorry, that was louder than I expected it to be.
So we've got a muddy, clapped out like
it
little
might be on
Suzuki
the trail
or
that
something.
Neil was on with the YJ, possibly.
Yes, and we've got some IROCs or some TSL Super Swampers on a little steel wheel, and it's off the bead because they don't have bead locks. We talked about bead locks in episode
Looks like it
12.
might be on tons.
You think it's on tons?
There's a lot of lug nuts there and a big hub.
There's something there. You're
There's
right.
something there.
There's something there. And so it starts off with a guy about to blow his hand off.
Always a good time.
And
Or at least get it smashed in the bead.
Oh yeah, he's
So
losing fingers if he
they-
misses that.
they lit a firework.
They had the firework in the tire,
I believe that's an M80.
and they had the fuse out by the wheel.
Yes.
And he's tucking it in a little bit with his
He
hand
tucked
while
it in
he
with his
lights
hand while he lights it. While it's lit, he's shoving it into the bead of the wheel.
His life insurance is definitely going up.
Oh, he doesn't have life insurance. I'm going to tell you, nothing about that guy has life insurance.
And I'm sure when it popped on the bead, he felt very pleased with himself.
That guy's got 2 or 3 projects sitting
He's
in the
like, you know
backyard.
what I did this weekend?
He's got 2 or 3 projects in the backyard waiting for them to appreciate for his insurance. Is what he's got.
Definitely might improve those projects with them M80s for sure.
With the M80s. So he lights it. So we've done this. I've done this personally many a times.
Not with firecrackers.
Not with fireworks though.
Usually
Not
it
with
involves
fireworks.
something flammable that you spray.
Starting fluid,
and-
brake
and
clean,
a lighter.
and a
while
lighter.
you're back here, away from the boom.
Not shoving up an explosive into a tire.
How long do you think it took him to come up with that thought?
Well,
You're like,
not very
"Hmm."
long. That's not something. That's not something that takes very long. It's like, oh, I got fireworks in my pocket. That's
For no apparent reason.
I got to tell you, did you hear that? It was a little diesel. It was a little diesel. I think it was sitting there dieseling.
I don't know.
I'm gonna say these are Russians.
Oh boy.
Just saying. That's kind of
Being judgy.
crazy stuff they
Being
do.
judgy now.
That's kind of crazy. Well,
They could have just been rednecks.
I'm going with Jeff.
have you ever seen Russians fly around on an excavator before, though?
Oh boy.
Yes, that is entertaining. On the chain,
See?
hanging off on the
See?
chain.
Hanging off on the chain.
Yeah.
I love some crazy Russian social media. It's good stuff. They definitely shoving M80s in their wheel
Yep.
right now. Somebody out there has got their hand stuck in between.
Yeah. Don't.
Fingers are blown
And they're
off.
still fighting off the bear on the other side of them.
Totally. Just. And they can't light the other M80s to throw at the bear because
Because one hand's in
one
the
hand's in the
I'm
tire,
fine.
which we totally don't approve of either one.
Not approved.
So your sister says the commercial has a peacock and a cassowary, but more importantly, a goat.
Yes, well, that's from the goat herder herself.
Yes.
Man, there was a goat in that.
I was so distracted by the birds, I didn't see the goat.
They
and the
were
gorillas.
screaming, and there was. I'm not going to say that. There was screeching and squawking. It was very cute.
Yeah.
It was very cute. It was a good mesh of nature and automotive industry.
And Kevin also adds in Russian YouTubes are a wild ride.
Wild ride. If you haven't seen it, you need to go find it right now. But be careful what you Google.
Oh boy.
Just talking about that. All right, so we have a very few minutes left in our time together
I'm
today,
gonna start handing you guys props.
and we're going to start to hand some props in
So I
today.
have my own hammer down here.
Why do you have a hammer by you?
Because he saw me getting tools and he got scared, so he went and got
So
more
he
tools.
went and got his own tools.
I didn't know what the heck was going on, but I saw
Okay.
hammers,
Okay,
so I got a hammer,
we've got twine and hammers.
and I saw him get a side cut
I'm going to
too,
move
so I got
these
my
awesome
own.
hats.
of
Make
the
sure you head
danger
over
zone?
to out of the danger zone, out of the dirty danger zone. I'm gonna just make sure. Head over to sfj4x4.com. Get you some of this
I'm
gear.
afraid you're gonna try to make me be
I don't want to
crafty.
throw this. I want to put this nicely off the screen.
So also, you each get an envelope.
We're getting envelopes.
Oh, boy.
Does it matter which one? Or
No,
can I
it
just-
doesn't matter.
All right.
It's the same stuff inside each envelope.
Okay.
You have to use at least 3 different items within that envelope, and your goal is to make a Valentine for your wife.
I'm sorry, honey.
You can use any of the tools that we provided. The twine is for you guys to share. The
I don't know
markers
what
are
I'm
to
supposed to do
share.
with the hammer.
The hammer is my favorite.
I don't have scissors.
You got scissors. Well, you don't need scissors.
You got side cuts.
You
I
got
my
side
pocket
cuts.
knife.
You can use
Well,
your
you got
pocket knife.
pocket
I don't
knives?
care.
Okay.
We
game
got some
on.
dirty tape. We got dirty tape. This is our poor wives. Could you ever
Ironically, my pocket
imagine-
knife makes me think of what I got my wife for Valentine's Day.
What did you
You
get?
did
your
not
wife?
get her tools.
You got.
I got her a tool
Oh, jeez.
and earrings. She likes earrings very much,
I-
but I got her a Milwaukee Fuel sander.
So are the earrings like little hammers hanging down, or
No, they're
Don't
actually,
worry, ladies. He's taken. Amy's a lucky woman. She got a Milwaukee sander for Valentine's Day.
She did.
I'm just.
Every year he pleads with me, "Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't buy her tools or car parts."
Yep. And yet
Gotta
here
sneak
you guys
it in
are.
there.
And yet here you guys
Did I
are.
mention how much she loves her earrings?
did
What
I
kind of
mention how
earrings?
much you guys are stalling away from making them?
I'm just hoping we can run out of time at in a
Look
decent
at that,
hour.
49
Let me
seconds.
add some time to that here.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
What kind of earrings did you get her?
I got her really
trying to-
pretty
I'm
red,
getting my butt kicked. by trying to
slightly
get these out of-
dangly. He
How
can't
are
even
you
get that out of the
How are you
package.
gonna make a
I
Valentine's
can get
if
it
you
out of the
can't-
package. Don't worry.
We're a PC show, just so you know.
That's nothing that has been inappropriate. It's
Anywho.
how you take it.
They're actually recycled
It's like watching a
glass
Disney movie.
earrings.
It's like watching it. It's just like watching a Disney movie. If you're tuning in, this is just like
so
a
this
Disney
really
movie.
cool place. takes
Amy does
rec-
say she loves the sander. She says she's very happy with her sander.
Can we stop before I make any more comments that will be held against me at some point in time? I want to hear about these earrings. I don't want to talk about the
So they're-
oscillating movement.
No, it's actually a rotational sander.
Of course, it's road spin.
Oh boy.
Okay, my kid watches this. My kid, it's
That
like
was a
little-
toy when we were kids.
It was. I'm getting warm. Take my jacket off. Taking my jacket off. I'm blushing, I think. All right.
Totally blushing.
Oh my gosh. All right, so I've got letter stickers. My wife bought her own Valentine's presents. Let's just call a spade a spade.
Oh boy. Fail.
We don't even do Valentine's Day.
Oh, see, it's probably
I'm
better
sorry,
than
Kristen.
my wife.
No. See, I was taught that if you don't treat your wife like a queen all 365 days of the
Oh,
year,
there you go. There you go.
You know what doesn't
See?
cut paper? Side cuts.
Side cuts cut
that's
paper.
not my problem.
That's not his problem. His problem was production value and construction
Well,
paper.
it's sort of cutting paper.
Did I get side cuts? I thought you did take my side cuts?
No, there's a pair of
No.
side cuts right next
Oh,
to
I
there.
found side cuts. Here we
Dear
go.
goodness.
All right.
Might have to steal your glue and tape though.
Oh, what are you
The
making?
glue and tape is shared.
I'm going with
It's-
old school. That's what I do.
All right, I've got a glue stick here. It's a
I-
half used.
I
it's
rated my kids' collection
dry.
for that.
Absolutely. That's as a good father should. There we
Yes.
go. It's
I
the dad
appreciate
tax. The dad tax. All right, so I got this nice. I got 3 pieces of. What are you doing over there?
I'm trying to make a heart.
Okay.
He's well on his way, and you haven't even started, Neil.
Listen. I've got plans.
So for those of you watching, they have multiple colors of construction paper.
Yep.
A handful of brass tacks, the
Guarantee
kind
you.
that when we were in elementary school, you just put into something to allow it to spin. Popsicle sticks.
Don't know what I'm doing with those.
There's a roll of twine.
Not using that.
My wife's gonna love this.
My 8-year-old could make a better.
My wife's a school teacher. Just for those of you who are
Yeah,
joining us,
She's gonna love this.
she loves it. She gets.
I should have had her plan it for us.
Oh, we would. She'd still be pulling supplies out right now. I like to call her Miss Frizzle at home.
Magic school bus.
Yep. Absolutely. My kid did his Valentine box, and of course, my parents were both school teachers as well. And so my mom came down to help. We brought. That's a cute heart you got there.
It's not
If
what I
you were
wanted to
blind.
go with, but it's working.
Okay. And so my mom comes down, and they're gonna do this Valentine box, and of course
It's a big deal.
it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And they started with like the dishwasher
My
tabs
letters
container.
are used.
They're confused.
They're used. I'm missing letters.
No,
Defective.
It is possible. Like I said, I did raid my kids' collection
I
and
don't
stuff.
think so. Oh no, I'm missing all the D's.
Handicap. We're handicapped.
You know what I'm missing? Jeffrey said that he rated his kids' collection, right?
Uh-huh.
I am missing 2 D's and an A. Aw, they spelled dad. Something they did. They stickered out dad. Now I can't give my wife.
They're doing a hate
D's.
letter right now. don't go there, man. I heard you say it. Don't do it.
He almost missed that one too.
Oh Lord. Poor Jennifer.
Barry White's been in spirit with us all day today.
Poor Jennifer.
See if I did this right.
Definitely not.
I don't know that I did. I'm gonna.
Confident there with your cutting ability there.
I am.
Stacking it up.
Oh, did you hear that? That was an affirmative
Yeah.
click of the side cuts. If our performance mechanic was here,
He would be losing his crap.
would he approve
No.
of
You're not using that tool correctly.
No, he loves when you don't use a tool correctly, as long as it's for a functional reason.
Yes.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I
All
can't even count how many times he's come over with the wrong tool for the job and said, "Look what you can do with this tool."
He approves of it when he does it.
Well,
yes,
that's
true.
That's true. Again, we're really good on Jeeps, guys. All right, so
I don't even know what you're trying to make there, Neil.
don't worry about me. I got this. I just want to make sure I don't cut my finger off in the process.
If you do, at least get it on film.
Yes. And the Bureau of Workman's Comp, I think since I'm the owner, I don't have to file.
We'll just drag you to the curb.
Just
It'll be
drag me to
okay.
the curb. It'll be okay.
I'll do mine on capital, so I'm yelling at my wife.
Amy, right now, don't you dare.
Yeah, she'll put me in my place.
I
It's
was going to
okay.
say, I'll show you who's yelling. Look.
Amy says, "I think we need to do
Look at
arts and craft projects more often."
that. Look at that. Look at I've got.
I don't know what you unfolded there. It kind of
They're
looks like a
hearts.
bunch of Pac-Mans.
There.
I'm sorry, Jennifer. I'm so sorry.
I'm going to clean those up a little bit. All right. So my construction paper is all like greasy now from the side cuts. I had such ambition for this segment, and this is I don't know if this is exactly what I thought was going to happen.
Just remember, this was your idea.
Yes. Don't worry, Jennifer. I love you, and I am so thankful that you support me in this. Let's see.
Actually, we got to give credit where credit's due. Davey came up with this idea. And
Davey, the Savage. All right, Savage. Look, he's a hopeless romantic.
Yes.
He is a hopeless romantic. Ladies, he could be yours. The Savage Thompson. He wants.
Why is he turning red? Over
Why is
there?
he's trying to shut the camera off right now?
Yeah.
so, Kristen was originally going to get me the kids' craft scissors to make you guys use those, and she just messaged that she forgot to get those kid craft scissors.
I think they
I
would have
know,
been
but
slightly
this-
better than side cuts.
No,
Side
I
cuts.
think the side cuts are great.
No.
I think the side cuts are getting the job done. Adapt and overcome, folks. It's the SFJ way. All right.
We don't have any exclamation points.
I'm sorry. We don't have any what?
You've got
What
I don't know
word
what
did
he
you
tried.
just try saying? What word was that?
There are markers over here, Scott.
Okay.
There's pink and purple and green and
My wife hates all those colors.
okay. Well, you
Maybe green.
you
might
can
go
use the
for.
brown one then. That's fine.
And use- I love you, like brown. Oh, you are the Browns, though. That would be cute. Look at you with your stickers and your "I love you."
How's yours going over there?
Mine's going
You
fine.
have more to go. You've only used 2 different items.
I was gonna say you've done nothing.
Paper
You're
and
just,
stickers. You need
You're
to use
just
something
hoping
else.
that we have to get on it about our work day here.
There's Jeeps I need to work on.
Oh yeah. We need your critical attention. Oh, you know what I just heard is that he values the work of SFJ more than he values the love that he's showing his wife. On,
Well, I made a Valentine. See, honey?
Look at this.
With
look.
side cuts.
With adapt and overcome. Look at I've got
Here, I'll use the hammer.
Look at those. Look at
there.
those. Oh, what?
Use the hammer. Use all my tools.
What? There's no hammer attached to that Valentine.
You could attach it. He says, "Look at these nice marker colors. I think these were lovely. These were lovely, guys. I don't think any of them are going to show up on my. Let me shake this one up.
Yeah.
These are our signature torque pens that we actually mark on vehicles with.
Amy asked if hers smells like gear lube.
No, thankfully.
Yes, it went there, Neil.
Thank you, Amy.
Greg's would totally smell like that, though. Poor Pauline.
His Valentine. I hope we were talking about his Valentine, right?
Where is your brain at today? Terrible.
Amy said you're welcome.
Yep. I know. She's good for that.
Yep.
All right. My paint pen is running out here.
You're splattering paint now.
What? No. Oh, sugar. Oh, no. Oh, no.
I'm sure my daughter's going, go on, Daddy, make a better Valentine for Mommy.
Right? Where's your creativity at? He's like, I'll weld her a Valentine.
If I could do that,
All
whatever
right.
would come out
I'm
better.
missing one. I'm missing
Oh, boy.
one heart.
Just do JS.
Oh, I see.
So you got to think on your feet.
This is why you're gainfully employed. Look at that. I've got paint on myself. Look, it's a good
Yep,
day. I've got purple paint on myself.
This is what Neil does making crafts.
Look at it. I got this nice, I got a heart chain. It's a chain. It's a paper chain.
So now you tape some of your candy onto
No,
it.
no. Take the twine and run it so you can hang
She
it.
got me the candy, so I don't think I can do that. I'm painty.
Totally different candy.
I'm
What are you
painty.
talking about?
I'm just gonna wipe it on my hands. It'll go away eventually.
Someday.
I'll put it on that Bronco poster.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
At
look
this
at
point,
this.
it's just the wives watching because they want to see what you're doing for them.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow.
Everybody else is asleep.
All right. So we'll finish this up, folks. I'll throw my yarn on there, and we'll call it a day.
You do get an A for creativity.
Thank you.
I-
I give an A to our production crew on this one for making this happen. Scott, you and I did okay. I mean,
No, I think we have to grade them now, and I do believe that Neil's going to walk away with a win on this one.
oh, I'm defending my Jeepentine championship. Oh, I shouldn't have given it away. Look at that. She can wear it as a necklace. Oh, look at that. That is, I'm actually really proud of myself right now. What are you? You're putting her name on it.
Well, you did. So.
Well, okay. I can appreciate that. Hey, do you need me to get you a Y?
See, Scott, you should have used the popsicle stick for this part and put her name on the popsicle stick underneath
I
it or
wish I
something.
had like exclamation points.
Well, use the popsicle stick. You got to use another
I'm kind
cup.
of disappointed that I didn't get to use my brass tacks here and make something mobile. But I think that we need to actually make Jeeps mobile. So
Yes.
should we get on with our day?
Yes.
Are you? All right. You did well, sir. You did excellent, and a big shout out to our wives for tolerating us and getting to this point. Still married. Isn't that fantastic?
Very happily married.
Very. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone watching. If it's you, your significant other, your Jeep, your vehicle, we appreciate if you've made it this far. Thank you for staying on the line with us. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. People we're really enjoying interacting with you on our YouTube page. So if you're watching on Facebook, it's only going to be live for about 23 more hours, and then it's gone. We pull it, and you got to watch it on YouTube, or you can download it via Spotify, Audible, Google Podcast, Facebook Podcast, iTunes, something fun like that. You can store it on your device and listen to us on your morning commute. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in, being part of this. I heard we have good things in the near future. a sea shanty. There is a sea shanty that's vehicle related.
Yeah, you're going to be singing that.
You heard it here, folks.
All right.
He brought it up, so now
Yeah.
he's definitely doing it.
All right. Until next time, Jeep on.
Jeep on.